this is my reflection video. Unfortunately, I didn't have the opportunity to see my classmates' final projects, but I will go on as best I can. I will take a moment to reflect on my own project, the course as a whole, and my future plans for using and integrating digital humanities. For my digital project, I came up with a unit plan on the novel Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen, which integrated digital humanities. The unit was designed around having my students create their own website in which each assignment over the course of the unit would be part of their final digital project. Their final was a thesis composition in the medium Storify, and then they also did an author's note to sum up their thoughts on integrating technology, the use and application of technology, how their learning of the subject matter was influenced by technologies. For my learning outcomes, my unit goals for digital humanities were: make students familiar and aware of multiple tools and technologies, show students how to utilize the tools and technologies, have students practice using those tools and technologies in learning and thinking about literature, have students reflect on how the use of technology may have enhanced or hindered their student work, hold class discussions in which we talked about how the tools and technologies impact how we work, i.e. collaboration, communication, the public sphere, accessibility, media, multimodalities, intertextuality. Because the unit was for high school, I wanted to do a lot of in-class work to help guide them. I also chose not to have them read theory on digital humanities, but instead propose critical questions to have them start thinking about the digital medium and how that might impact their learning, their work, and how their work might be received, and then we followed up these discussions in class. One thing I learned from the project was the sheer amount of information that was available. The difficulty was trying to narrow my scope and what I wanted the students to get out of it. Another was the type of text that were available digitally, which makes it easier for the students to access and also makes it easier to find. I also learned how challenging different technologies are and how much time they take to learn and get better at. Also, certain technologies are better for certain things. Try to steer away from using something just because it looks cool, but rather what skills are being developed and will that skill be useful in the future. I've always been resistant to technology, so I've utilized it in my life at a very minimalist level. I started out not knowing anything about digital humanities. Now I'm familiar with the history and the ongoing debates over how to define it. The course introduced me to reader response theory and made me question commonplace words such as what is reading, what is an author, and what is literature. I then found myself waist deep in technology. I read electronic writing, Twitterature, Storifys, Tumblrs. I tweeted, blogged, and wordled. I learned about different technologies available and what is possible with technology. How the digital landscape has brought new modes of exploration and creation, such as geographic information systems, digital archiving, distant reading, topic modeling. I think one of the benefits of the digital nature of the course was it gave me the opportunity to see my peers work, so it made me work harder seeing what other people were doing. I felt the urge to play catch up with all the hip youngsters. I also felt part of a greater community. It made me think deeper about different concepts and ideas we were wrestling with, allowed me to ask questions of my peers, like, how do you do that? I learned by doing, by working within the technologies and applying the theory to the literature we read, and really playing around with the technology to see what I could accomplish. Sometimes it was utter failure, but that was all part of the process. I hope to continue my learning of the digital humanities and keep up with the discourse since I'm curious where it will lead. What will be the next platform or hot topic when it comes to digital humanities? Maybe a program that mixes text together, linking words and themes, so you could mash up Little Red Riding Hood and Wuthering Heights with a click of a button. I'm also interested in doing more creative things with the technologies. I love fiction writing, and Twitter fiction has got me thinking about other existing modes of possibilities. In teaching, I realize most students are tech savvy, with the attention span of a deranged kitten. So integrating digital humanities not only helps vary the instruction, but it helps bridge their outside interest with that within the classroom. That way, learning can take place in a medium that isn't strictly academic, so it might be more appealing, but also more challenging, since they'll be using it in a different way, active engagement instead of passivity. And that's a wrap.